Creating a design portfolio is hard, and I know because I've been there and done that. And in this video I want to share with you some of the top mistakes that you can avoid in order to bring your design portfolio to the next level. And at the end of the video I'm also going to review a design portfolio, so stay tuned until the end. And let's get started with the very first mistake that I want you to avoid in order to get the job or the project that you desire. And that is having either too much or too little work in your design portfolio. Now, I hired many designers over the years, and one of the most common pattern is either seeing portfolios with maybe like 1 to 3 projects or portfolios with 20 or more projects. So you really want to nail a balance, and in my personal opinion, anything between 6 to 10 projects is kind of like the sweet spot. And in my opinion, I would want a portfolio that is easy to skim through and quickly understand if that person has the ideal skill set for the type of job or contract which I'm hiring him for, and try to focus only on the quality. So if you have a bunch of projects, at least what was my tendency when I first started out in the design industry was to just try and put everything together and not to be clear as to what my ideal client would be looking for. So I would have anything from graphic design work to logo design work to websites to responsive apps to wireframing, and it was all around the place, and it was kind of a mess. So my approach nowadays is to actually just focus on the type of work that I want to be hired for. I don't want to do any more graphic design, so I'm not going to put it in my portfolio. And this is super important for you to think ahead and really try and think about the ideal solution for your specific client. So if a client is looking for pizza, give him pizza. And in design language, this would translate in would you like to get only website design projects? Well, just put websites on your portfolio. And if you're looking to get more dashboard projects, since every time you apply, you're not really getting a good feedback and response, try and work on side projects and then put them into your portfolio, which are going to be side projects exclusively around web apps. And by the way, that's how I started. I never did a dashboard before for a client, and then I wanted to get into that field. So what I did is I started to create UI kits and design projects which were fictional, which weren't real. And I stated in the portfolio that these weren't real, but those projects showed the potential in the employer, and I started to get opportunities to create dashboards. So definitely don't skip on side projects, because those are going to really give you a lot of opportunities, in my opinion, especially because you're not going to have any boundaries when it comes to what you want to create. While instead, if you're working with a client, you're likely going to need to do X, Y, and Z, and maybe you're going to have certain revisions which are not going to get you the design which you want to show in the portfolio. So keep all of those things in mind and really think about your ideal client, because dreams come true, and you can definitely get your dream client one day. Now, another mistake that I see designers do in their design portfolio is that they don't explain the project almost at all. So there won't be any text explaining the project or a video with some voiceover or something around those lines. And that is going to be key, because you might see the final solution because you've been involved in the project. You know all the time, all the research and how good the final solution is. But someone who's looking at the project for the very first time doesn't really have a clue. So you want to give them some intel, some information about the background and the context in which you're operating, and especially the problem which happened at the start, and the solution which you created and that solved that problem. That's going to be like the most important thing that you can mention in a case study. And that's really going to make the clients look up to you, because you're not just a designer which is creating pretty visuals, but you're actually a problem solver, which is extremely valuable in the marketplace. Now, another thing which I noticed as a trend is that it's not really clear when what was the role of the designer in that specific project when it comes especially to collaborative projects. So if you mention the fact that it was a collaborative project, you want to mention your role and what you did exactly in achieving that project all together with the team. Another thing which I noticed especially recently, and since we're in 2020, we absolutely have to take care of that, is not having an online presence or an online portfolio. And I'm not necessarily saying that you absolutely need to have a personal website, although in my opinion it's ideal, but you want to share the work not by sending like large PDFs in emails and stuff like that. You ideally want to have a personal website, or maybe just a Behance or Dribble account. But in my opinion, Behance has a little bit of an edge, because you're going to be able to show multiple images with description and just the general feeling. I know that you can add more images on Dribble, and Dribble is still, really good. You can add text and all that, but Behance, I think it's more tailored for creating case studies around the project. That's where all the storytelling and all the intel, background and context information, which I mentioned just a moment ago, would come into place. So definitely keep that in mind. And if you're looking to make a website, I'm not sponsored by Squarespace. I'm using it for my own website. And the new website templates of Squarespace are absolutely amazing. They're just like, everything is drag and drop, but they made it like way more easier. So I would personally check it out. An alternative though, if you're looking to really get a website to the next level and not coded directly, I think Webflow is a great solution, especially because it pretty much allows you to create stunning websites and design them from scratch and implement them into code in a much easier way than actually coding it up. So if you're interested in that, you can check the link in the description. But again, I just want to keep it practical here. So let's go to the next step, which would be not having call to action to contact you, or maybe the contact form is not working, or any issue when it comes to the contact part are super important. Because imagine that a client, or maybe a series of clients, look at your portfolio and they want to contact you and they can't seem to find the right way to contact you. I mean, that would be like so many opportunities that are just flying by. So make sure that the contact section is very visible. The contact button should be visible almost at all times on the website, and you want to have it both on the header and on the footer. So just double check on that and really be sure that it's easy to contact you. All right, so I really hope these tips and advice was useful. And now we're going to review the portfolio of Franco. So let's jump onto my computer. All right, so let's get started. And by the way, Franco reached out to me on Instagram. Super cool guy. And if you're interested in a portfolio review, feel free to do the same. So without further ado, let's go on to. So the very first thing which I'm seeing is, overall, I think it's a good foundation for sure. Quick small technical note, the connection is not secure, so you might want to check on that. I think it must be the SSL. But something minor in my opinion. So at the first glance, because I haven't seen this website before, I think it's looking good. Maybe you could consider like taking this section and vertically align it, since I don't know, for some reason it's not I think it could work better like vertically, if that makes sense. And okay, you got the profile picture, which I think it looks good. If you're applying for UI UX, I would maybe like try and get a little bit of a more formal photo. I wouldn't go like suit and tie or anything like that, but just something that is going to show you in a little bit more professional way. So instead of having like a t-shirt, maybe you could have just a sweater like this one. So again, minor thing. I wouldn't go overboard. I mean, if I were to hire someone, I wouldn't judge them by based on that. But you never know. In this world, every single detail and can add. So that would be that. And now let's move on to the very next section, which is the web design, branding, and yeah, I think this is looking good at the first glance. So you have a bunch of projects, and this is looking cool. Seems like you have experience in website for the very most part in apps. So cool. Okay, so there was a play button over here. It isn't, but that's okay. And all right, we have some project description, which I think it's really good. I mean, based on what I mentioned just a moment ago, you definitely did your homework here, and this is good to give an actual understanding of the context and the what you actually did. So cool. All right, there's quite an extensive case study. So seems like you did quite a bit. Why are you branding yourself as a UI designer? I'm wondering, since you're also dealing with UX, also accessibility testing. This is quite an advanced stuff, and the final design. Yeah, man, I would definitely not just say that you're a UI designer if what you do is also UX, since you're diminishing your chances of getting hired and especially getting involved into projects which might want to have like UX expertise. But yeah, I mean, I would just change the top section to UI UX designer if that's something you're comfortable with. So yeah, just a quick heads up on that, because I've been doing like I've been branding myself as UI designer in a few years ago, and basically in the mind of the client, if you say that you are a UI designer, they're always just going to see you as the visual design guy. So there isn't going to be like much problem solving service over there. But seems like you did quite a bit, and overall your portfolio is quite professional. I like it. I think you definitely have quite a bit of experience in this, and I think I read somewhere that you mentioned on Instagram that you have over 8 years of experience. So you definitely have a lot of opportunities in front of you. So yeah, I think this is cool. I really like the fact that you're going deep with the portfolio items, with the projects. So even though there aren't like many projects, even by just seeing these four, the level of depth and the level of contextual information, and especially informing about the process, that's definitely good. Um, I would try and focus on give a lot more emphasis on like the problem and the solution in these case studies, but like right away, like in the project overview, um, like briefs and goals. You already have this first part, and yeah, I'm trying to see like what was the solution. I mean, I guess it's the these apps and all of these UIs which I'm seeing, but yeah, overall I think this is looking good. It definitely positive, and all right, cool video here. and yeah, more descriptions. So yeah, I think this is looking good. Of course, then I could go into the visual design, but that's like personal like taste. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of ROI in me telling you, like, you know, about color palettes, typography, and all that. I think it's looking good overall though. So yeah, that's that. Trying to click on the okay, so we have two issues here. I try to click on the about section and there isn't anything. I tried to click on the CV and I couldn't found one. Alternatively, when it comes to the CV, and by the way, the contact is working pretty well. Alternatively, instead of the CV, you can just have like a LinkedIn link, so that and you know, employers are going to check out your LinkedIn anyway, so you might as well just give them that right away. So yeah, overall, I think it's looking cool. I would probably try and add maybe like one or two more projects just to give a little bit more depth to the portfolio. And one of the things that I'm not 100% sure is where, like, what is your ideal type of client. So okay, let me check this one again. Interaction designer, looking for my next exciting role. I just design interfaces predominantly. Okay, so even here there is like an incongruency. So you're mentioning here that you are UI designer, and here that you're an interaction designer. I would just decide upon one. Maybe consider the title UI UX designer, since it's one that is going to resonate a lot when it comes to like the type of services which I'm assuming you're looking to get hired for. So yeah, that would be that. And then I would add maybe like two more portfolio items. Check the SSL, check these links. Maybe try and figure out a slightly better photo. I think this one is okay, but if you can figure out something else, I think that would really be good, since you know it's going to be like the very first impact here. So you might as well try a few things and see the one which you're more comfortable with. And then after that, I would just start seeking out work. Like spending like 90% of all the time just doing that. So you know, applying for positions or freelance jobs and all that, if you're interested in that, or you know, just full-time positions. But yeah, that would be it. So cool stuff. Going to leave the link in the description below if anyone is interested in reaching out to Franco, if he's available, since I think he mentioned he's available for work. So yeah, that's that, and I'll see you in the next video.